Ke bidiwa Maria Motse, ke na le dingwaga di le 39.
My name is Edwin Motse. My native name is Rapula. Rapula means one who comes with rain or Mr. Rain. I got married to Maria in 2001 and since that time we are great friends, soulmates. Yeah.
Na ke bitswa Stanley si Phimolo Monageng. Ke dingwaga di le 71 years old. Me ke tshela botshelo jo ka reng ke monana.
My name is Masedi Tata Kewamudima and I'm 23 years old. My favorite thing to do for fun is actually not fun for most people. My favorite thing to do is to go on radio and talk to various people. That's what I do. That's what gives me more joy.
I am Bonso Sekisang and I'm 20 years old. What I like to do most is, I'm going to be honest, I go clubbing with my friends. We just go clubbing, enjoy ourselves. I get to meet different people and the music, I dance. I wouldn't say I'm a good dancer, but yes, I dance, I try.
And one of the things that concerns me is the issue of AIDS fatigue, message fatigue. People are tired of hearing about HIV/AIDS. That's an issue that we've addressed. We now have medication. We can move on. It's still a very serious issue in this country. There are almost 14,000 new infections every year. That's 37 new infections every day.
1 in 5 people in the adult population in this country here has HIV. That is an alarming statistic. It means for every 5 people that I meet in Botswana, 1 of them is HIV positive. That's a huge number, and it should make us all be concerned. And we should all be able to say, as concerned individuals, how do we address this problem? How do we reverse the statistics? Because if we don't reverse the statistics, we are not going to be able to control HIV in this country.
We haven't won the war as yet. If you look at the cohort of our adolescent girls and young women, 40 new infections per week to us are far too high. And this is a reproductive age group. This is the future for this country.
HIV/AIDS is still a real big issue. As long as a lot of people are getting it, we are not yet there.
Botswana has the 3rd highest HIV prevalence among adults in the world. And for us to be able to win the war against HIV, we need to put as many people on treatment as possible.
I remember everyone seemed to be going to a funeral on Saturday to bury a loved one or knew someone who was in mourning because the epidemic was absolutely devastating this country. It was so bad, in fact, that in 2000, former President Festus Mogai at the UN General Assembly said this country faced extinction unless something was done to address it. And now 20 years later, we're actually talking about epidemic control.
People were getting sick and we are at the loss of what is supposed to be done.
HIV/AIDS was killing not only policemen and soldiers and teachers, it was also health workers themselves. And our health workers who were not sick were overwhelmed. They were working 18 hours and therefore assistance was really badly needed.
If you just focus on success, you miss the point that there are still people that need help. It started with Condi Rice. who was my national security counselor, and she came in early in the presidency and said, "Are you aware there's a pandemic destroying an entire generation of people on the continent of Africa?" I also believe that to whom much is given, much is required, and we're a blessed nation. And so when you think about the implications of a pandemic, not only from an economic security perspective on this continent, but from a national security perspective, I decided to do something about it. My administration came up with a clear strategy and sprung it on the Congress with no notice. And thankfully, both Republicans and Democrats supported the effort. It got a momentum going, and it worked. And so I went back to Congress and asked for additional funding. And because of the success of PEPFAR, the initial round, Congress was more than willing to continue on with the success.
When we started, this was an emergency, and the country on its own did not have capacity, technical capacity, financial capacity to deal with the disease on its own. And through the US government, the country was able to receive, first of all, financial assistance that helped in building the infrastructure, that helped in training the healthcare workers on managing HIV. And they also provided drugs, they provided some of the equipment that are used for diagnosing people with HIV.
The U.S. government has budgeted $900 million through the U.S. President's emergency plan for AIDS relief to combat HIV/AIDS since the program started in 2004 here at Botswana, and $20 million for the Treat All program, which I think is going to be the policy that will boost us through the finish line where we can finally achieve epidemic control in Botswana.
So Treat All strategy is a strategy that was launched by His Excellency Ian Khama, and this strategy is basically initiating all those that are positive on treatment without waiting for CD4 count.
We are saying the moment you get tested and we find out that you have got the virus, we put you immediately on the treatment. That is Treat All.
When people do test, they actually are enrolled in the ARV program. They don't have to wait.
It will only take a week for somebody to be initiated on treatment. It can even take less. Some people get initiated within the same day with Treat All.
This is how it started. You know, everybody wants to get into a relationship. So it was at a time when I had newly gone tested for HIV. So nekena letsala a bidiwa go te Virginia ompemetse mo TV. This lady, we were kind of like, she was like more like my sister. You know, Virginia, I want to have a partner whom I can settle with, and I've tried to search myself, I can't find one. Please help me find somebody whom I can settle with. And she said to me, you know, you are giving me a difficult task, so I'll see what I can do. After 6-7 months or so, she called me, she said, I need you to come and meet somebody. So I went there and I found her with Maria.
I was staying in Gaborone West, and he was working at TCM. And that time I wanted to take a taxi going home, but I decided to just walk with him from the main mall to Gaborone West, from Gaborone West to where he's working. So it was a journey that was very short, but it's a long journey.
Our relationship began from there, and then since that time, I think it's like 16 years ago, we've been together. One of the biggest things that we fight about is I like taking risk. Too quickly.
And just like promptly.
That's why we always fight
we
about.
Fight because I'm somebody who just
She's
like,
so calm.
let me just find out first. Sometimes, yes, he will be risking and it will come up good. Sometimes he will be risking and it will be so bad.
So bad.
So bad.
That I even regret why I did that.
And I'll be the one who will be comforting him. No, you are not supposed to blame yourself.
I got diagnosed with HIV, I think 18 years ago. That is diagnosis. I don't know when I got the virus. I was in some treatment where I remember one very, very odd drug. It was so bad. That drug, when I took it in the morning at 8 a.m., I would get drugged. Or if I take it at work, then after I take it like an hour, I would feel like I should sleep on the table. I would be unproductive. Then eventually they changed the drugs for me. Since after that, I'm so comfortable with the treatment. I'm okay with it. I don't experience any problems.
The drugs that we use have less side effects. They are very effective in reducing the viral load. Viral load is the level of the virus in your body. So these drugs are very effective. They have less side effects and they're more tolerable. So there's no reason to be afraid to start treatment.
With improvement in science, we are now having drugs that are less toxic. So patients tolerate the current drugs better compared to the old regimen that were used in the beginning of the ART program in Botswana.
Before Treat All, people were getting sick and people never wanted to know their status. But since this Treat All, people are starting to know their status. They're going for an HIV test and they know nowadays that if they test positive, they know that they start the treatment there and there. I'm so good and I'm feeling good. I only see the doctor twice in a year.
No side effect at all. When you are taking medication today, you are building up on your health for tomorrow. You are not building up for now. You know, if I take my medication today, I know I'm saving my life the next week or the next 2 weeks. If I don't take my medication now, I know there are chances that something will creep in between the periods. Let's say I forget and then I miss one dose. If it so happens, in the evening, I'll feel my body has changed. And that will be a sign that something is happening.
We don't want you to get sick. Studies have shown that there's more benefit to you getting started on treatment without the delays because we are avoiding getting opportunistic infections like TB, meningitis, infections of the brain. And those infections usually happen when somebody's really sick and the immune system is really low. The benefit of starting treatment early is that you are preserving your immunity. You don't have to wait until your immune system is really down to be initiated on treatment.
One thing that people should understand that when you immediately, if you get on treatment, you are increasing your lifespan. You live a longer life because now the viral load within your body is under control. It's no longer controlling your body, but your body controls it. So that is the first one. You will definitely see your children grow. You will definitely grow well if your fiancé or wife. You get to grow older with them.
Ha ile gore motho o simolola go tsaya diritibatsi tsa mogare wa HIV/AIDS, se raya gore botsogo ba gagwe bo a go tokagala, wa go kgona go tshela a sa lwale jaaka ne a ka tshela a lwala ha ile gore ga a ditsa mme le gone wa go kgona go bereka go iperekela ka gore o taba a nunugile mo mmeleng gape o oketsana kwa gagwe ya botshelo.
We say to ourselves, we need to have a family. We want to have our own children. Now the question is, we are HIV positive. How are we going to do that?
The government introduced a program many years ago for prevention of mother-to-child transmission, which has really done a good job in reducing the number of orphan children because mothers were able to go on treatment and therefore live long and also have children who are HIV negative.
If you really think about how tragic it is for a young child, the ultimate innocent, to have an AIDS virus, it breaks your heart. And so part of PEPFAR, and a very successful part of PEPFAR, was dealing with the mother-to-child transmission issue.
At that time, I think the PMTCT program was pretty new. And in fact, we were some of the people who advocated for its rollout. And so it was a good platform for us to allow ourselves to be used as a model to make sure that it works well. All our 3 children are HIV negative.
When you are on treatment and you want to have a child, it works, because if your viral load is suppressed, you will still be able to have a kid and you'll have a child who is not positive.
You have to take responsibility of your health. Having children, you have to plan. You should know that you are HIV positive. You are having the virus inside your body. The virus keeps on multiplying, replicating, doing all those sorts of things in your body if you are not responsible. So both of you should be generally well.
My advice is that if you happen to discover that you are pregnant, whether you know your status or you don't know your status, make sure that at the earliest time of your pregnancy, you go and do an HIV test so that you save the next generation.
At this time, we are having 3 kids. The first born, we planned for that baby. And indeed, we've got an HIV-free child. Right now, she is 14 years. She has completed her Form 3. She has arrived the finals. Last week, Friday, she's waiting for the results to come. And we are proud that she's doing Form 3. And we want to see her going to do Form 4, Form 5. And to the university, we want to see her. And we believe we will.
If you are a mother with HIV, enrolling on treatment can also increase your chances of having an HIV negative baby, because you are suppressing the viral load. Therefore, chances of you transmitting that virus to the child are also very minimized.
If you look at the effect now of PMTCT, mother-to-child transmission, we are near elimination.
HIV is here with us. Let's not get tired to talk about HIV. Every day somebody is getting infected with HIV. And as a matter of fact, everybody needs to be reminded that HIV and AIDS exist. We still have people who are being critically sick because they just discovered they're HIV positive when it's late. You know, I advise people to know their status when they're in their prime time life or when they're in their prime health condition.
We still have a long way. We want to see our children grown up, going to the university, graduating. We want to see them. That's why we are really taking care of ourselves.
It's important for us to consistently take the medication because they give us hope to raise our children. They give us hope, you know, to live like everybody else is living. We have visions, we have dreams that we want to achieve in this life. So by taking medication, we are saying we want to live to see those dreams getting accomplished in our life.
I've been living with HIV since birth, so for the past 23 years. And I've been on treatment for the past 13 years. To this day, I've lost 4 family members to AIDS and 2 close friends to AIDS. The biggest challenge for me about living with HIV is that I have to do it all on my own. I grew up in various places. Sometimes I had to move because either I had so many issues that the person who I was living with could not deal with those issues, or the person that I was living with had passed away. So it has been more like me against the world. Unfortunately for me, going public with my status has, I would say it somehow put my dating life on pause, because most of the time if I say I'm HIV positive, or if somebody actually knows that I'm living with HIV, they would tell me outright that I would date you just that you're living with HIV. Now, it's painful. It is very, very painful. I believe that I'm somebody who is caring. I believe that I'm somebody who has good qualities, but the fact that I'm HIV positive has in a way stopped people from actually wanting to have a relationship with me. Now, I'm not saying that every person is like that, but I'm just saying that is what I've experienced thus far. I have faced quite a bit of stigma myself. Most of the time, it not been direct stigma. I remember when I went public with my status, most people just stopped talking to me, stopped hanging out with me because they knew that I went public and they knew that I'm living with HIV. And to me, that pushed me even harder to do the work that I do. I work at Sintebale. Sintebale is a Prince-founded organization that provides psychosocial support for children living with HIV. So I work there as the Advocacy and Communications Officer, and what I do is I try to engage young people and the community, different stakeholders together to come and discuss various HIV issues. Sometimes I find myself speaking on behalf of Santebale at different platforms all across Botswana. When you are speaking on radio, you actually get to impact on other people. You get to impact people that you don't get to see on everyday life. You get to be yourself and actually connect emotionally with somebody else. That's what I love most about radio. The reason why I talk about HIV issues, yes, it's partly because of the people that I've lost, and I'm trying to help other people not to go through what I went through. The other reason why I do it is because it's painful to know that I'm living with HIV and I'm able to survive, and yet people around me are dying. It's really a painful thing to see yourself going on another day, an extra day, and somebody else is there and is dying because they don't know how to get help, they don't know how to accept themselves.
USAID is specifically supporting government of Botswana on orphans and vulnerable children, working with local NGO partners and international NGOs, as well as working with the Department of Social and Community Development and Social Protection. And it's through this support that children are identified and re-enrolled in treatment if they have defaulted on HIV treatment. They are provided with life skills programs. They are also provided with early childhood, particularly for children with caregivers who are in the remote areas and have no access to education. What we are finding in terms of the needs of orphans and vulnerable children in Botswana is the importance of love in the home. It sounds very simple, but that's what it takes. With the right environment at home, it nurtures the child to be able to thrive, to be able to know how to make the right decisions as they grow.
The government of Botswana has been doing so much, with the treatment being available to every Botswana at no cost to them, and now also with Treat All being available to say when you test positive today, get on treatment. With the process of having to go for regular checkups to see how far your CD4 account is, some people didn't really go that much often, and some people, because they took longer, the medication ended up not working as well as it could have been if they had started immediately. So this way the government is saying, let us try and save as much lives as we can. That goes to show that our government is really doing its best to actually help people living with HIV.
Government of Botswana has played a major role in addressing this public health concern that we have. First and foremost, an enormous political commitment shown at the highest level, and they recognized that for us to get epidemic control, we needed to have some strategic investments being made.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention is working with Ministry of Health to strengthen and to build capacity to be able to diagnose people that have HIV. They also work with the Ministry of Health in getting people on treatment.
Sometimes you feel like you are alone. You feel like it's only you and you from that small country and there's nobody else who is facing whatever you're facing. Or sometimes you feel like you have the worst situation ever. But actually when you begin to listen to other people, you realize that your situation is not as big as it seems to be. Even though we say that people should go and get tested, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to test today and be told you're HIV positive when you don't have a support structure around you that is going to help you to cope or to be able to adhere to your treatment. I think the reason why people are not getting help is there's so many variables, but the main thing is that people don't have support, or other people don't know how to ask for support. Some people, they are afraid. Some people, they don't know where to get the proper help they need. And some people don't really know what ARVs do or how important they are. If somebody was to first test positively today, I would first ask them to take some time to sit down and soak it in. It's going to be a blow, it's going to be a shock to you. And then you need to realize that at the end of the day, it's your life and you're in charge of it. And the first thing that you need to do is actually go seek further counseling to understand what it means to be HIV positive and to know the treatment that you can take and to do it immediately.
It means we are no longer going to get worried about, I'm HIV positive, will I work? Will I school? Will I be able to see the next 8 years and take care of my kids? It means you can have it all. You can live as normal life as you would even if you didn't have HIV.
What I would say to encourage somebody to test is that they first need to realize that they are not alone. All across the world, there are 37 million other people who are living with HIV. That is across the world. So when you realize that you are not alone, you realize that other people have been able to live well with HIV. Therefore, you can also be able to live well with HIV. It's going to be challenging. I'm not going to say it's going to be a smooth ride. It's going to be very, very challenging. But if you know that you are not alone, you're not the first person to face this thing, and you know that I can get help, and you voice out to say, I need help. Even if your family is not there for you, there are different other people who are there. There are different organizations which are there to try and help you to be able to accept and to be able to get the treatment that you need.
The real strong message is get tested. If you're positive, go on treatment right away. And this image flashed in my mind. I don't know if you're a Star Trek fan, right? The live long and prosper. So treat all, live long and prosper, which you can certainly do.
So to me, it means I have no limitations on earth because I'm living with HIV. Now I know that I can achieve anything in my life as long as I adhere to my treatment. What I've learned about myself is that I'm stronger than I ever thought I am.
gongwe le gongwe ke ba ke tsamaya ka dinao ko ke tshela botshelo hela jo bo normale jo bo siame mme go tsamaya ka dinao ke gone mo ke go ratang go gaisa ke na le dingwaga di ka nna 17 ke tshela le ngwaga ka gore ke testile positive ka 2000 ke anong ka tsena mo pila ke sena go nne ke testa positive ka be ke tsena mo ke nna le TB ka be ke tsena mo treatmenteng ya TB le ha TB sena go nne e fola ka be ke simolola ke tsena mo treatmenteng ke ne ke setse ke ikhansetse ka gore ke ne ke le mooki ke ne ke setse ke itse di-symptoms tsa HIV ke ne ke setse ke ikhansetse ke amogetse seemo sa me ga go a ntshosa ga go a reng ke ne ka amogela seemo mme ke ne ke tshogetse ba lelapa la me mosadi wa me le bana gore bone ba go tsaya yang kgang ya me ha ba utlwa gore ke positive so se se neng se le botlhoko go di heta tsotlhe ga ke sena go nne ke lemoga gore ke HIV positive ke kgethololo le go kgontshwa ke batho ngwana ke o ne a tsena le ko primary wa bofelo go santse go nkutusa bothoko o ne a boa ko sekoleng tsatsi le letsatsi a talela a re di-PS bankana ba gagwe ba ne ba mara ra go bolawa ke AIDS ga re bate go tshameka le wena ga re bate go ja le wena go ne go nkutusa bothoko mme ke ne ka tsaya ka akanya ka tsaya tshwetso ya gore ke tshwanetse ke emise so se ka be ke a gore ka t-shirt ke a go iprinta ke kwala gore ka ha morago ga gago ke re nna ke botoka ka gore ntate o itse seemo sa gago wena ra go ga itse seemo sa gago o ka nna a swana ko nngwe le nngwe mme gone go ga ise a kwa thole ba mo tshwenya ga be go hela.
Early days of the epidemic, we had that slogan that testing and knowing your status was the gateway to accessing our services. So our message is very, very simple. Go test so that you know your status. If you are negative, essentially we want you to maintain that negativity. If you are positive, we are saying that helps you now to choose from this array of programs and to be assisted into the relevant programs, whether it's Treat All, which is now the flagship.
Go itse seemo sa gago ke tsela e bulegetseng botsogo ja gago le botshelo ja gago jo thehela.
We continue in different clinics and in different gatherings to encourage people to go out and test.
My message to the Botswana citizen is get screened to determine whether or not you have the HIV virus.
Go and get tested and know your status, because you don't have to be afraid of HIV anymore. It's just like having high blood pressure or any other condition out there that you have to take medication for the rest of your life, but it's better to know than to be in the dark.
With Treat All, because you start your treatment early, you are able to keep the viral load low, so chances of one transmitting the HIV to their partner are also very low. So you can end up with one partner who is HIV positive and the other partner is HIV negative.
Mosadi wa me ene o tlhokagetse ka 2008 mme o na le negative, o tlhokagetse hela na ka bolwetse hela bo sele ene o na sa sena mogare.
By knowing your status, you're actually helping the rest of your community, because you can prevent further infections by just being on treatment.
Going into treatment is just like drinking tea every morning. It's just like eating bread or porridge every morning. Even if I'm in the bus or anywhere where I'm going with my medication, taking it. I'm not embarrassed. It's just like when you got a headache, then you have to take your grandpa or whatever painkiller you have.
Remember the early days, it was a cocktail of all these sorts of drugs. There were lots and lots of side effects. Some people were saying, once I take this, I'll have diarrhea. Some people were bulging, and there was just quite a lot of those side effects. But science is evolving. With research and evolution on this treatment, we now are seeing lesser and lesser and lesser side effects. And we are seeing people living longer and longer on treatment.
It's best for you to go on treatment early, even when your body is still able to manage or deal with the treatment that we are getting. The current treatment being provided is quite easy on the body, as opposed to the treatment that we used to find before.
I have never been in hospital. People are going into hospital with ailments but not myself. No side effects, nothing at all. That's why I say it's just like drinking tea or eating your own porridge. You see, just as easy as ABC. I take my tablets, my daily, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the evening. But I never failed. For 17 years, I have never defaulted, not even a single day. That's why I'm so fit.
Guys, go botlhokwa ebile go maleba gore o pehela yo iphitlhelang ka mogare wa HIV. A itse gore go botlhokwa gore a tsene mo lenaneong la go tsaya dipilisi ka ntata gore wa bo ikokeletsa botshelo ba gago bo e leng gore ke ba gago le bana ba gago le masika a gago le ditsala tsa gago e ba e le wa rekana wa mme ba botle ba kgona go bona o tshela itseng gore kana sose re se dira mmogo le hatsa la Botswana se tshwara ke ntja pedi ga se thata.
Ha ke tsena mo treatment ne ke ipaletse gore wai ke a go tshela dingwaga gongwe di ka nna 3 kana 5 hela e ke tlhokahetse. Ke ne ke itsholohetse hela yalo gore nya wai ke a go swa within 5 years ke tabe ke se o mo lehatsheng. Me ka treatment now ke santse ke lemoga gore I'm going to live and ke a go tshela go ithala ke nna 100 years.
People don't know that I'm shy. They don't know that I am shy. Yes, I'm shy. When I get into like a bunch of people, a group of people, a lot of people, I always feel like running away or something. But when I get my confidence, I grab it and I utilize it. Oh my word, I love a lot of things. I love modeling, I love singing, I love dancing, but mostly I enjoy organizing events like event management, parties, weddings, and going to the malls. Window shopping, if you have money, we just go shopping and buying a few things. Last year, May 2016, I just went for my general checkup. The results came out positive. What I'm going to tell my mom, what I'm going to tell my boyfriend, what I'm going to tell my friends, my family, and other people. It's difficult for people to come out of the closet and let everybody that they're HIV positive because of the stigma. The stigma itself, it's what stops people from letting other people know that they are HIV positive. Okay, some people, after finding out they're HIV positive, they're usually in denial. They'll say, no, maybe they were wrong. But at some point, they're going to get really sick and start losing weight, sweat a lot, lose their hair, and develop some wounds, maybe some pimples, some rash, some STIs. Then that's when they start saying, no, this is serious, then maybe I should withdraw for treatment. Some find that maybe it's too late. Yeah, it's too late. The virus has spread throughout the whole body and it is eaten up on some cells.
The population that has got the highest number of new infections in Botswana are the young people.
It's very important to accept your status, your HIV positive status, because if you have accepted yourself, you won't have any problem enrolling for treatment and disclosing to your family or somebody close to you. Starting my treatment, I always said, I'm going to take my treatment regularly with no distraction, with nothing. I'm going to take my treatment until I die. So my first pill, taking it, I felt something in my life has changed for the better. Yeah. Initially, I never had any problems. I never had those bad dreams. I never had the loss of appetite, like change of complexion. I remained the same way. Okay, that's the part that I like most. Treat All it's a really good initiative. Before we had Treat All, someone would go and test, and then they would test positive, then they'd go home. They were supposed to wait for their CD4 to drop, but from there they would just ignore and never go back to the hospital. But with Treat All, you don't have to wait for a certain period. Who could have known that me and you would finally make HIV, it's either you are infected or affected. It affects everyone. It doesn't choose. It's whether you're a child, whether you're an adult. HIV is a prevailing issue, yes, of course, but that doesn't mean HIV puts an end to everything in your life. Like myself, I'm HIV, but I don't look HIV positive. Yes, I look strong and fit and handsome and glowing as ever. So to the young community, if you get HIV, you should enroll for your treatment. Start your treatment on time and take your medication regularly.
In the olden days, if somebody got HIV or they were told they had HIV, it sometimes meant a very short life. But with Treat All, an individual, because somebody gets diagnosed while they're still healthy, they're still able to do everything for themselves. And if they start treatment, then they're able to have that quality life with the family. They're able to live much longer.
The biggest challenge is losing my loved ones, like boyfriends. My relationships did not last. When somebody finds out that I'm HIV positive, they just walk away or going silent, and, changing their moods. Finding somebody who is the same status or finding somebody who would accept you as you are is not an easy thing. Most people, after finding out that I'm HIV positive, they just tend to run away. Yeah. But I'm hoping to find somebody who understands me and who knows me, who listens to my opinions and knows that I'm HIV positive.
The US government through USAID is currently supporting a project called Linkages Project, and this project is aimed at increasing access of HIV services for key populations.
Mental Health is an organization that deals with MSM, men who sleep with other men, gay people. So at Men for Health, we like a link between the community and the key population. If somebody is dating me and I'm HIV positive, they'll be enrolled for PrEP, so I won't infect them. Chances of infecting them are very low. So in that case, the spreading of the virus around would be lowered, and at the end of the day, having HIV infected people goes down.
The goal of reaching 0 new infections, treat all, makes it possible.
After helping somebody, I always feel relieved. Like I have taken off that load of my chest or my shoulders. There are more blessings coming into my life because I have helped somebody. My mom is my role model. You know, she's that strong woman. When I was young, she used to tell me, this world I'm trying to remember. This world is full of thorns that prick hard. So you should grow up to be a strong young man. With Treat All, you can have anything that you want. You can have your dream house, your dream car, your fitness, your friends, family around you, living healthy and happily. I want to live until, and make changes, help people, change people's lives, touch their lives, and so I want to live forever. I think that was possible.
The statistics show that the program works, and the government here, while it's taken a lot of responsibility, still needs help to strengthen their healthcare delivery systems to the point where they can self-fund.
The success of our health outcomes is very much determined by the kind of partnerships that we have. So partnerships are very critical. It's the grassroots levels where you're also trying to address those difficult cultural issues that sometimes can't just be addressed by remote. So you need to sort of be part of the society, part of the understanding of the cultures to be able to say, how can we address this collectively?
USAID is using community health workers and community organizations to reach out to the last mile of communities that will never be able to be reached with the normal streamlined system.
The support we're getting from the embassy through PEPFAR, various strategies were employed, and there have been lots of achievements indeed.
The good thing about PEPFAR is there's now an infrastructure in place where if tested and if positive, you can get help. I am grateful for the U.S. citizens who work in this country, both in the public sector and the NGOs that are really leading with their hearts.
For Botswana, what gives me the hope that we will win the epidemic is the commitment by the government from the highest office, and also their collaboration with the different partners like PEPFAR.
Botswana has always responded. We have been #1 in terms of eliminating mother-to-child transmission, in terms of enrolling people onto ARTs. I'm really positive that with the PEPFAR support and the other partner support, joining hands with the country of Botswana, the Ministry of Health, we're gonna reach epidemic control before we know it.
The USG has been providing non-stop technical support in addressing HIV in this country, and the USG government, PEPFAR, was able to come forward and also help us, embarking on this noble initiative, which was one of those high-impact interventions that, if we got it right, would be able to actually bring us towards epidemic control.
PEPFAR is a gift from the American government, American people, to countries that have been affected by HIV, like Botswana. And I think it really shows love, it shows compassion.
I'm most proud of American generosity. Our country is generous and compassionate. And if we put our minds to something, we can't solve every problem, but we're pretty good about helping solve the big ones. And there's nothing bigger than the loss of millions of human lives.
It's something that as a country we appreciate, and we need to take their effort very seriously and make sure that we also work with them to make the goal of PEPFAR a reality.
I would thank them for the collaborative relationship we have had. We admire each other's values, and we have benefited immensely from that relationship, both aspirationally and in material terms.
There's a marathon in the United States, the Boston Marathon, a 26-mile race, and as you get tantalizingly close to the finish line, there's something called Heartbreak Hill, and a lot of people, they kind of hit the wall there and they can't go any further. That's where we are now in this country. We're at Heartbreak Hill. I think our hearts will not be broken. I think our hearts will be full of joy and a sense of accomplishment. We push through and reach epidemic control.
This is the time that now we can do business as usual. We need to review the strategies. We need to see what works and discard what doesn't work.
Having an economy that can still offer us medication is a great thing, and therefore, Botswana, let us take advantage of that and see to the point that we take care of ourselves. Those that are still negative, please remain negative. And those that are positive, please take medication so that we may continue to live longer and better life.
All it takes is to test early, treat early, and live long.
If you are living well on treatment, you can have anything that you want to get in life. There is no limitation as long as you are adherent to your treatment, as long as you are listening to your doctors. There is nothing under the sun that you cannot achieve. To me, it means, like, my vision to travel the world is possible if I'm on treatment and I adhere to my treatment. That to me, it says if I want to have kids and I want to get married one day, it's possible if I adhere to my treatment.
You live like any other person who's HIV negative because you have the treatment. You can even go to work, you can even go to school, even if you are on treatment. You have it all.
I want everyone who is HIV positive to open their hearts to Treat All, to the new Treat All initiative. Your health will be fine, you'll be well. Even when it comes to having children, your system, your immunity will be kept strong for as long as you are on treatment.
Whether you are HIV positive or not, there's still a lot one can achieve. The earlier you get on treatment, the longer your chances of living and the stronger your body becomes. Then people won't see the difference between before you were infected and after you are infected.
Ke batla go rela batho kere ba tse bokao mo go nna gore ha o tshela ka mogare o tshela le mogare o bo itse seemo sa gago o tla tshela botshelo jo bo telele ba ke ntse se kao le ha tshelo thela Botswana le mo mahatsheng a mangwe mme ba se ka ba tshoga sepe ba ye go thathoba ha ba bata kgakololo ba te go thusang bana ba ta bona kgakololo e itetseng.
Get a healthy life, just enjoy life with no hiccups, no stress, and relax.
Treat All is having it all. Having your job, having your husband, having your dream child, having the future that you want, have it all.
In Botswana, there is a spirit of Boto, working together, helping others, which I believe is a very important characteristic that defines us as a nation.
A fabulous country. It's an honor to come and see the work that's being done and to remind people that there's more work to be done.
You can have it all
with Treat All.
You can have it all with Treat All. I should have it all, and I believe that I can have it all.
You can have it all with
Treat All.
You can have it all with Treat All. Good. Good.
I wish you the best of luck. Back against the wall and you can't get up. Still a booty gun, since the early one. Kids are not telling you since the yellow one. I wish you Gogo reazen, gogo ribule, gogo reazen, gogo ribule. Set the goal and go the extra mile, and I made some sacrifices along the road, and I take a moment, drove the message home, and I oftentimes feel I'm being denied the right to spread my wings and fly. If it slips their mind, I'll keep reminding them so dehydrated, my mouth is dry. Bawarata okasanta hoya, how is he getting shele? Le how kata sebe sabiri mona hahele. Mad love for my mom and my dad. Every time when I'm sad, play the role of a friend. For a friend in need is a friend in need, and whatever you need, you depend on me. Tile wabeta uka, tile wabeta, tile wabeta uka, tile wabeta. Kiring korong korong, kiring korong korong, kiring korong korong, kiring korong korong.
Young king, born amazing. Dream too big, they thought I was crazy. But their minds too small to understand or even comprehend the motives of my plan. I tried searching for love, it didn't go well. Need a chain that be coming with chips. Success is on the bucket list.
Tile wabeta